السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على النبي الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه الفائزين برضا الله. أما بعد. Respected teacher and my beloved friends, today I want to share some words about Islamization of knowledge. Inshallah, I will give you a brief introduction on the concept of Islamization of knowledge. Firstly, Islamization of knowledge. What we mean by the concept of Islamization of knowledge? That Islamization of knowledge is an attempt to reconcile Islam and modernity, specifically seeking for a way to adopt the scientific method in way consistent with Islamic ethical norms. This is what mean by Islamization of knowledge. There are many scholars and exemplary personalities related to this concept, Islamization of knowledge. Firstly, Abu Ala al-Mawdudi. The idea of Islamization of knowledge first discussed by Sayyid Abu Ala Mawdudi in 1936. In his work in Urdu language, Ta'limat. That was his work in which he discussed about Islamization of knowledge in 1936. And Maududi advocated Islamization of knowledge responding to two glaringly contrasting views of conservative and modernist Muslim on Muslim educational system. That was the Maududi's advocation of Islamization of knowledge. Then Islamization of knowledge, according to Maududi, is a critical analysis of Western humanities and sciences to recast them in accordance with the teachings of Islam. This is what Maududi defined Islamization of knowledge. Then another famous scholar related to this concept is Sayyid Muhammad Unais K, the Malaysian scholar who first used the phrase Islamization of knowledge in his book called Islam and Secularism, which firstly published in 1978. He was first one who used the word phrase Islamization of knowledge firstly. Sayyid Muhammad Unais K, he is the famous scholar related to this concept Islamization of knowledge. In the book Islamization, Islam and Secularism, Sayyid Muhammad Unais K expresses his belief that Islamization would liberate men from the clutches of westernization and secularization. Then the most important and significant scholar related to this concept Islamization of knowledge is Ismail Raji Al-Faruqi. He's a Palestinian philosopher or an active academician who is the chief architect of the concept of Islamization of knowledge. He have elaborated this concept and worked for the preaching of this concept among the world. There are many works and many important events related to Ismail Raji Al-Faruqi according to the concept of Islamization of knowledge. Therefore, we have to understand a brief history, a brief biography of Ismail Raji Al-Faruqi. As we said, he He is an Palestinian scholar. He born in Palestine in 1921. Then in 1941 he graduated from American University in Beirut, and in 1948 migrated to USA after Jewish occupation of Palestine. Then he got MA in philosophy from Harvard University, and from 1954 to 1958 he studied at Al-Azhar about the religion Islam, and studied Christianity and Judaism at the McGill University. And he was a visiting professor of Islamic Studies as MC at McGill University from 1958 to 1961. And he was a professor of Islamic Studies at the Central Institute of Islamic Research in Karachi from 1961 to 1963. Then from 1963 to 1964, he was the visiting professor of History of Religions at the Chicago University. Then after that, from 1964 to 1968, he was an associate professor of religion at Syracuse. Then professor of religion at Temple University from 1968 to 1986. He had many works and many important books also. He authored, edited, or translated 25 and more than 25 books and more than 100 articles. He was one of the member of editorial board of 7 major journals, and he established and chaired the Islamic Studies Steering Committee of American Academy of Religion, and he served as the vice president of Interreligious Peace Colloquium from 1977 to 1982. One of the founder of the International Institute of Islamic Thought (IIT), and his major works are Islamization of Knowledge, General Principles and Work Plan. This was the basic book of this concept, Islamization of Knowledge. This was his monograph based upon the papers and speeches delivered by Al-Faruqui at various conferences, it also include the speeches of his friend Abul Hamid Abu Sulaiman. He also a famous scholar related to this concept. And most of his works are related to the concept of Islamization of knowledge, and his major works are Towards Islamic English, Trilogue of Ibrahimic Faith, Historical Atlas of the Religions of the World, the Cultural Atlas of Islam. Then the deals of Islamization of knowledge. Islamization of knowledge primarily deals with economics, politics, political science, sociology, psychology, education. It matured more in economics. Islamization of knowledge deals with many fields of the education, but it more matured in the field of economics, such as Islamic banking and etc. The attempt of Islamization of knowledge have made toward the Islamization of English, linguistic law, philosophy, science and technology and etc. Therefore, The Islamization concept of Islamization of knowledge is spread to the all fields of the education. Finally, there are many organizations and institutions related to this concept, Islamization of knowledge. Therefore, they are ought to say here. Firstly, Association of Muslim Social Scientists, AMSS. This association founded in 1972 under the umbrella of the MSA Muslim Students Association of the US and Canada. The main purpose of the Association of Muslim Social Scientists was to provide a forum for both Muslim and non Muslim social scientists interested in pursuing Islamically oriented research and scholarship in the social sciences. AMSS encourage them through its seminars, conferences, and annual conventions to discover many ways in which Islam is relevant to their disciplines. There are many events and many seminars and many programs which held by this association for the elaboration and preaching of the concept Islamization of knowledge. Then, secondly, IIIT, International Institute of Islamic Thought, that was founded in 1981 and registered in United States of America. To provide that was founded and established to provide a comprehensive Islamic outlook through elucidating the principles of Islam and regain the intellectual, cultural, and civilization identity of the Ummah society through the Islamization of humanities and social sciences. And they also held many focused academic seminars and conferences and published many works. Therefore, through these, they can preach and spread this concept of Islamization of knowledge. And thirdly, Institute of Objective Studies India, IOS, was founded in 1986. That was founded for the promotion of directional and purposive research with a view of generating understanding the awareness about the conceptual issues and current problems. They published many books and organized many workshops and symposiums for the preaching of this concept Islamization of knowledge. And fourthly, the Muslim Association for Advancement of Science, MAS, and Center for Studies on Science, Aligarh. MAS was established on 30th April 1983 at Aligarh. In India, in a meeting of young Muslim scientists coming, that this institution was established in a meeting in India, in a meeting of young Muslim scientists coming from different parts of India, that was established to study the science among the young Muslim scientists in the Islamic perspective. Therefore, there are many other institutions and organizations related to this concept of Islamization of knowledge. They mainly worked and served for the preaching and elaboration of the concept Islamization of knowledge, and they held many seminars, colloquium, symposium, and many academic conferences for this goal. Okay, thanks. Jazakumullah, ahsan al jaza. ആമീൻ യാ റബ്ബൽ ആലമീൻ. വസ്സലാമു അലൈക്കും വറഹ്മത്തുള്ളാഹി തആല വബറകാതുഹു.